Okay, greetings and welcome to the Eccentric Perspective. I'm your host, Blake Wally. Today, February 27th, 2025. Today's the big day. It's finally arrived. So, will we see all this juicy Epstein stuff? Files? Have they dropped? Thought something bigger was going to happen. But now I'm going to keep an eye on it, but I'm still going to go at the scheduled time. I'll give you the updates as best as I can find them and what I have so far, and we'll take it from there. If you got any links or anything you'd like to share, please drop a line in chat. And, we'll incorporate that into the broadcast today. So let me go over the headlines real quick, and then we'll run the intro and jump in. So here we go. Well, the first Epstein dump. Will that be everything we hope for? Tulsi Gabbard, was she over the line firing 100 employees? 21 DOGE staffers, are they justified to mutiny against Musk? And comedian Bill Burr, does he deserve praise for critiquing Elon Musk? Jake Tapper, should he donate his book profits to charity? Rachel Maddow, she a sanctimonious MSM mercenary? Trump's mass deportations, will that cost the U.S. great talents in the future? And was foul play likely involved with the Gene Hackman family? And finally, should consumers, should they join in the 24-hour economic blackout? So it'll be these stories and more on the other side of this quick break. Okay, well, welcome in. Here's today's thumbnail, some of the top subjects. There's Judge Smales from Caddyshack. We're all waiting. We've been waiting on these files. It's now 3 o'clock here, Central Standard Time, somewhere around Nashville. And I don't know about this release here. But we'll jump in, and I'm sure maybe there's more breaking news because something has happened. It took a long time, but we shall see. And hello, Robin. Yeah, well, thank you. It's great to have you here. I was so ready for this, just waiting, getting up and been on this the computer, been on Twitter since 10 a.m., hoping I thought there'd be something like boom right in the morning, but it's been just a big waiting game. So no, we'll see. I'll dig into what I have so far, and with the way Twitter moves, I'm sure something will pop up and we'll get some juicy breaking news, hopefully. But let's take a look at what we have so far. That would be, well, yes, the Trump Attorney General signaling the imminent release of the Jeffrey Epstein files, promising shocking revelations. That was what happened last night as Pam Bondi joined Jesse Waters on Fox to make that big announcement. Then, let's see. And then here's Marsha Blackburn, because she also made the rounds, senator out of Tennessee, saying that she's pushing for the transparency. Let's get them all jailed. Couldn't wait for this to come out. Find out the depths of this potential international sex trafficking ring, which is perhaps blackmailing lots of our politicians in D.C., so many others. It could really unravel a lot of stuff. I mean, it's not just here for the United States. I mean, Epstein was buddies with Prince Andrew. This is countries all over the planet compromised, doing the bidding of whoever is handling them. Now, some may say perhaps it's Mossad or it's CIA, MI6. I guess maybe any number of intelligence agencies. They like to run these little honey trap operations, get people in high positions of power compromised, blackmailed, and then they can control them. It's dirty business, but very effective. So I guess, let's see. Well, there's a lot of criticism. There's a lot of influencers, I guess, battling online. Several of them were in DC. These are some of the first groups that got access to White House press corps. That's awesome, but they're getting the exclusive. So far, I don't know if any of them have released anything. We've got what's his name? Rogan O'Hanley's DC Drano. I think that's Libs of TikTok. I forget her name. I think I've got a tweet with her coming up. I've heard of her. There's Mike Cernovich there in the background. So yeah, good on them. Getting those nice little shiny dossiers. Okay. Let's see. But yes, Jimmy Corsetti saying nobody cares what the outside of these folders look like. How about show us what's inside of them? And why weren't they released to the public first? This is the worst release ever. Well, so far, we may tend to agree until we see something. Ian Carroll also been very critical. Saying definition of a fumble. Everything in those binders should be online and PDF format already. Then you can have your Con Inc. influencer parade if you want to burn your optics down again. Many of these guys are real journalists. They will put their contents online immediately. Something tells me the grift is just getting started. And that could be. People pointing at each other or being grifters. I'm not sure. But here's DC Drano saying he regrets nothing. Justice is coming for the Epstein pedos. Well, I don't know. Has he had a peek in there? I guess this is only phase 1. So I wasn't expecting all the contents to be dumped out. Certainly, I guess they've got to make some retractions for some of the people, perhaps confidential human sources or victims or what have you. But you think they would have already done that already. This list has been sitting on Pam Bondi's desk for a week or two, and they should have had a lot of this stuff available for years. But there seems to be an issue also with the FBI and deleting evidence. So we don't want you to see what's going on here. Let's take a look at Candace Owens. Something about this Epstein release doesn't feel authentic. I agree. Why do we need phases of this release? Why not just release it to the entire public at large to comb through? Just rip the Band-Aid off. Let us all see the ugly truth and get over it quickly. Or are they just going to drag this out? And then how long? When's the next phase? It's going to be tomorrow, next week, next month, next year? Should be, I'd like to know more. We all would. We all deserve more. And so many people already know what's in it. They get all that privileged information, and we're just stuck waiting. Not fun. Here's Tim Pool saying the FBI in New York appears to have gone rogue. Attorney General letter says FBI is withholding critical Epstein documents. And this after reports that the FBI was secretly destroying the Epstein documents. What the F is happening? I agree. So, what is going on? Yes, there's been a couple of, there's one whistleblower within the FBI. In fact, he was just on Alex Jones yesterday. I didn't see that, but I did see the clip where he's there with Benny Johnson talking about cleaning up the servers. And part of that also maybe part of the reason why they delayed the nomination of Kash Patel They didn't want him seeing everything that they had. So they are busy shredding documents, hiding everything. And it gets pretty weird. I do have another clip from Alex Jones if we want to go there, just showing the depths of the insanity once we actually see what the contents of these files are. So let's let this rip for a minute. He goes down the rabbit hole with all the cloning and the vampire stuff, and yeah, it's pretty sinister stuff with Epstein. What he was doing in New Mexico with his medical lab, and he was trying to reseed the human race. All of his filthy genetics. But let's take a look. Oh yeah, the Zorro Ranch. Save that darkness for another day, perhaps. Hello, Jody. Good to see you. Yeah, it's been sitting on her desk. I don't know how many pages. So went from maybe a couple hundred victims. Now it's over 250. How many pages? I mean, obviously that might take a while to sift through some of that. But it's not like they've been holding on to this for a long time. They all know we want it. So now they're just playing, they're walking it down slowly. Yeah, I'm sure there probably is a lot of victims, and we probably don't know a lot of their names. Unfortunately, I mean, there's probably the ones that are born in America or what have you, but there's probably a lot of these young girls on that island. They're just orphan children that can't be accounted for. Who knows? Once you go down to the really dark stuff, but it's pretty sick. Okay, let's see. Actually, this one of the people that got the dossier, the binder here, her name is Savannah Hernandez. I'm not familiar with her, but we can run some of this clip. I have not seen it. It says she also has the Epstein binder. She wants to correct the record. The Trump administration was originally set to announce these documents and make them available to the public in a press conference this afternoon. Well, it's already 4:15 in D.C. The body has stated that some of the information is already public and that the real smoking gun documents are being withheld by the FBI. So that would tie into that Tim Pool tweet I just showed you. The binder in this morning's meeting is part of the Trump administration's push to bring independent journalists and media to speak directly to the highest members of the administration in an effort to be the most transparent administration in history. And that is awesome. I will definitely say that is pretty cool. That the alternative, the independent media, which and deservedly so, gets their place in the White House press corps. Start removing some of those media jackals, those corporate propagandists that don't deserve to be there. I mean, we all get our everybody gets a shot. But they've abused the public trust. So anyway, let's take a look at what Savannah says. Hopefully it's not the exact same thing I already read, but let's hear her in her own words.
Hey guys, this is Savannah Hernandez in front of the White House with, yes, one of those Epstein file binders. Now, I want to clear something up immediately and state that nobody from the Trump admin gave us these binders and said, you guys are going to be the ones responsible for disseminating this information. They actually told us that there's going to be a press conference at any moment now, most likely this afternoon, in which all of the information in this binder is made available.
Okay, well, that is interesting. So I don't know if that's been delayed or if it's still going on. I mean, it could be happening as I speak right now. But that is a pretty heavy binder. Looks by the looks of it. I couldn't tell you exactly how many pages that is, but at least 100. So that is going to take some time. So unfortunately, I was looking forward to getting on the show and just going over some of the names. But unfortunately, that's not the case, at least not yet. But maybe some of these people can just throw a few little, snippets out there. Might, perhaps. Hey, Glenn, how you doing? Great to see you again. Nice to have you on the Sunday show. Yeah, twice in 2 days. Yes, I'm going to be doing 2 to 3 shows a week. We'll stick to 4 o'clock Tuesday and Thursday Eastern time, and then I'll probably throw in some kind of a weekend show just to get caught up on everything. There's always a few interesting stories that break over the weekend, and I don't want to wait till Tuesday. Start putting out some more regular content this year. We shall see. I'm going to try to break through the algorithms on some of these channels. We shall. I'm not sure. Yeah, very exciting stuff. So great to have you here. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, some people are very critical about this. Perhaps some of the things they don't want to show, saying the quiet part out loud, Mossad and the Zionists and the connections, perhaps. But I mean, again, it could be several of the Western intelligence agencies that all work together, so I won't just put all the blame on Israel necessarily, or just their Mossad. Although Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, her and her father were well known as being affiliated with the Mossad. So is Epstein. I thought I had another good tweet on that. See if I can find it. Oh, I think I tossed it. It was somebody was asking Grok about it. I think it was Ben Davidson, Space Weatherman, of all the connections. So it is all affiliated, but that would be something they don't want us to know. If our greatest ally is been trying to blackmail our politicians, wouldn't be a good look. So they might want to redact some of that if they can, and we don't know. But the FBI is playing hardball. They've held on to the Hunter laptop and the Anthony Weiner laptop, and now they're holding on to all the Epstein stuff, all the good stuff, destroying documents. So let's get back. I haven't even seen this. I'm just trying to find some of the breaking news, because they're repeatedly questioning whether this was the full set of documents, and was repeatedly assured by the FBI that we had received the full set of documents. Well, this is from Pam Bondi to Kash Patel, but she says late yesterday, so that would be, well, that is yesterday because this is from today. Says she learned from a source that the FBI field office in New York was in possession of thousands of pages of documents related to the investigation and indictment of Epstein. Oh, it seems like, yeah, they also had like 2,000 files on JFK that had disappeared since the 1960s. That was from the assassination, November 22nd, 1963. Still waiting on that because that's supposed to be declassified, and there's no reason for any redactions on any of that. So I don't know why we're not seeing that information yet. But so from Pam Bondi to Director Patel, she's saying, despite my repeated requests, the FBI never disclosed the existence of these files. And sounds like Kash Patel was surprised because they had a phone call. They were both surprised to learn this new information. And so by 8 o'clock a.m. tomorrow, that would be February 28th, so this all fits the timeline here, the FBI is supposedly will deliver the full and complete Epstein files to Pam Bondi's office, including all records, documents, audio, and video recordings, and materials related to Jeffrey Epstein and his clients, regardless of how such information was obtained. So that's a bombshell. So 8 o'clock tomorrow, but I mean, again, that doesn't mean they're releasing it to the public. It just means that they've set this sort of deadline for 8 o'clock Friday, February 28th. The FBI is supposed to, I don't know, bring the moving truck full of information. And then I don't know how long it's going to take to go through all that. It sounds like some weekend homework to go through the documents, the audio, the video. It's a lot of stuff. And who knows, because the FBI, they went to they went to his island, his little pedo island, his little pedo paradise. And all of those videotapes of all the compromised people, whether they were politicians, clergy, actors, musicians, who knows? Anybody Jeffrey wanted to compromise. So I'm not sure what they've been sitting on that, or what they've been doing with it this whole time. They took it all, smuggled it, and then buried it. So anyway, I think that's really all I have to say on that. That's pretty much the details of this letter. So Pam Bondi and Kash Patel working together after the FBI, the rogue agents, destroying evidence so that the public wouldn't see it. What they got to hide. Yeah, a lot of very powerful people want to make sure that never sees the light of day. But the sins that they were committing. Naughty. All right, well, but we're going to find out eventually. I sure hope. Well, the whistleblower from the FBI was saying that not even Elon Musk could access these servers after they wipe them clean. So I don't know. Hopefully there's some white hats somewhere that have preserved this stuff, because it deserves to be known. Okay, well, what else do we have to say? Any other breaking news? I'm going to just peruse Twitter for a minute here, see if I can find any new news. I think with all those binders, come on, just give us a little something, guys. But they're enjoying their day in DC. And here's Luke Rudowski saying all the pedos in DC and Hollywood right now, yeah, they're pretty happy. Nothing happened. A lot of nothing. It's supposed to be bombshell. It was supposed to be suicide weekend in DC as all of these people, oh my God, they just realized that they've been exposed in front of all of humanity. Oh God, that's Sissy Harry and his little fairy friend. Good for them. Little Democratic KOLs having fun. Paid hacks. Okay. Well, yeah, here's another one from Luke Rudowski. I wanted the Epstein client list, and all I got was the FBI cover-up. Yes, all we got was a letter. Well, I don't know. This was disappointing. It's been worse. We got a little something. Some binders going around, but nothing bombshell. Not yet. And now they're all the other influencers that are pointing fingers Got all the grifters calling each other Zionist influencers or what have you. I don't know. That's too bad. Looking for a victory lap. Something. All right. Well, we'll still see. I'll keep an eye on it. We'll play some breaking news. I guess in the meantime, we'll just have to move around to a couple of other stories. Yeah, and Cash overpromised making it public, and Pam Bondi. Maybe she wasn't ready to do that. But I mean, there's got to be some pressure, and we've got Congresswoman Luna. She was putting a lot of pressure on Bondi to do something about it, and we thought we had something. At least, I don't know, most of last night and all of this morning, just patiently waiting for nothing. Okay, well, I don't know what else to say about that for now. But I guess we can switch subjects for a minute. Got a few other stories, and then we'll circle back, like Jen Psaki says. Maybe we'll see if there's been any breaking news. Give us a name, just one. We've had the Prince Andrew revelations, Bill Clinton. Come on, just one surprise name. All right. Well, anyway, got Tulsi Gabbard saying more than 100 intelligence staffers are fired for alleged explicit chats. I mean, everything kind of pales in comparison, although there are some interesting stories of the day, but I really wanted to focus on the bombshell. Was Tulsi Gabbard, was she over the line firing 100 employees? And I guess I'm going to say no on that. So newly minted DNI, Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi, issued a directive terminating the employment of and revoking security clearances of employees who have been caught up in an alleged explicit conversation scandal. So as employees at the NSA participated in obscene and explicit chat room conversations using the agency's Interlink messaging platform. It's pretty gross stuff. And it's called an egregious violation of trust, basic rules and standards around professionalism, according to Gabbard. These employees were under investigation, sharing their sexual fantasies under the guise of diversity, equity, and inclusion, the DEI. Really a strange thing. We have some strange personnel at our highest levels of government intelligence, which is pretty disturbing. So let's take a look. What was it? Yeah, it was about intersex babies and much more from CIA and the NSA. The people who run the surveillance state are insane. Yeah, well, certainly some of them are. So American journalist Christopher Rufo, he's been releasing the screenshots from a secure government chat room where they're discussing their Hermaphrodite babies so that their children could choose later which gender or sex they prefer. I mean, why would they use official channels for stuff like this? This is bizarre. So exposing intelligence agency employees, yes, we kink, fetishes, sex change surgeries, and so many other bizarre things. So maybe these people should not be a part of, they should not have security clearances when they're posting this stuff. I mean, it gets really in the dark. You're getting into the genital castration, artificial vagina, gangbangs. Do that on your own time. Probably don't want to do that on your government time. I've worked for not government intelligence, but I've worked for places where you could have your own company emails and things, but I always told you that's not it's not yours. It's not private. It's public. It belongs to them. It belongs to we the people. All of these governmental emails. So be careful about what you post on there. It's a good article by the Babylon Bee. NSA agents horrified. People are spying on their personal conversations as they go through all of our personal stuff, and they're probably digging through everybody's emails or what have you. They got all this backdoor access to all of our computers and things. And maybe we should be watching them. I don't know. But it gets pretty weird. Okay, DOD, there is 120 IRS locations being closed down today across the U.S. That is good news. It'd be nice to abolish the IRS. That would be cool. I think there's a legitimate chance of that. And with that and DOGE and just fleshing out so many of these unnecessary federal employees, make everything more efficient. I think that is fantastic. Not everybody agrees. We'll tie that into the next topic I have. We'll just we got about 9 things on the docket today. Yeah, I've got 9 issues. I won't spend a lot of time on these 2, just to cover some of the other stories besides Epstein. But there's actually a mutiny going on with some of the DOGE staffers. Looks like some of them are going to be resigning in mass. I don't know how they hired everybody, but DOGE staffers are suddenly turning on Elon, according to a scathing letter. 21 former staffers have resigned in protest against what they describe as attempts to dismantle critical public services. Collective resignation represents approximately 1/3 of the holdover employees from USDS, U.S. Digital Service. I guess that's the government department with roughly 100 workers that Elon Musk transformed into DOGE under President Donald Trump's administration. So there aren't just his own little personal coders from his own companies. I wasn't quite sure the scope of this and how many employees they actually had or where they got them all from. But some of them were already in the government, and they were clearly, I guess, more aligned with their with the leftists. And there's been a lot of pressure on these employees. A lot of them are getting doxxed. People are freaking out. Well, all the leftists, because the U.S. aid, their slush funds getting exposed, paying off media organizations to make propaganda. And so these ex-workers were not part of what they characterized as Musk's personally hired nerd army. So it's cool. He's using their own government employees to clean up government, but some of them they're just kind of creatures of that deep state apparatus. And I would respect them if they really thought that they were, if they were doing this as an act of defiance because they were cutting essential government services. That would be a bold move, but we're not really sure exactly what agencies or what they thought it was. Social Security, VA services, tax filing, healthcare, disaster relief, and student aid programs. Are they all that critical? Hard to say. We don't want, they do have to clean up the government, but we don't want to go, too far. We just don't have enough services to run things properly either. We can do this piecemeal. It doesn't have to be all done at once. But Musk and the White House have responded to the reports of the resigning. And Elon said, well, they would have been fired had they not resigned. Again, they're not his own personal people. Not all of them. So they were Democratic political holdovers who refused to return to the office. According to Elon Musk, they would have been fired had they not resigned. It says, anyone who thinks protests, lawsuits, and lawfare will deter President Trump must have been sleeping under a rock. According to Caroline Leavitt, President Trump will not be deterred from delivering on the promises he made to make our federal government more efficient and more accountable to the hardworking American taxpayers. I agree. So, yeah, because the far left New York Times has identified dozens of DOGE employees and potentially endangering their lives. So Elon Musk was not happy about that. Well, because also I guess it goes against them. Wasn't the New York Times, were they getting some of that DOGE, some of that sweet slush fund money? I can't remember. Several of these companies were. So it threatens their livelihood, and now they are fighting back in the way that they can, but they shouldn't be doxing these people. They're trying to do the right thing. And there's all kinds of death threats going around. Not good. And finally, what else do I have on this topic? Draining the swamp. President Trump formally instructing all federal agencies to prepare for large-scale bureaucracy cuts by March 13th. So that is coming up in just 2 weeks. Bloated, inefficient, and corrupt federal bureaucracy finally facing its long overdue reckoning. So a lot of people are going to be shown the door, but they weren't really doing much except wasting taxpayer dollars. Okay. Well, okay, so I think we're 1/3 of the way through the topics here. As I will continue trying to look for any breaking news on the old Twitter feed. Let's see, another one from Ian Carroll here. So we're trying to figure out just how much blackmail a specific country perhaps collected on our government. Just covering the most recent tweets here coming out. But people aren't happy. I don't blame them. Neither am I. There's another one from Philip Anderson, also very vocal. Don't say you're going to give us the Epstein client list and then do not do it. Don't say you're going to give us the Epstein client list and give us a nothing burger circus. Do not say you were going to give us the Epstein client list and then give us 7 phases. So that's it. Okay, so Candace Owens was saying, oh, it's just the first phase. First of how many? Well, apparently maybe it's 7. So this is the breaking news, I guess. We're going to get perhaps 7 potential data dumps. And we just got the first, but we still have to go through all that. So they have to go through those binders and dig through. Of course, why can't they just release that for everybody? Or maybe give it to them since they're there in DC. But then maybe the rest of us could get it in the day, and maybe tomorrow. And of course, as they said in that letter, they are going to get a lot more things, I guess, perhaps brought to them at 8 a.m. tomorrow, if we can count on that. And maybe we can now that Kash Patel is in charge, because if it was Christopher Wray, you'd forget that. The delay from Ray. But I bet they'll get some more stuff. But again, what does it matter until they actually release it to us? So, yeah, as he says, just give us the names. Just give us a little something to chew on. Maybe somebody we haven't thought of yet. And you go, oh my God, can you believe so-and-so is also at Epstein Island? But no, alas. Okay, so there we go. I just checked and there's still no more breaking news. So I guess we'll jump to something else. One thing I was very shocked and disappointed by, one of my favorite stand-up comedians, Bill Burr, was criticizing Musk. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was AI when I heard it. I was like, no, he didn't really say that, did he? It's getting a little politicalist these days, I suppose. Billy boy. But this one did not go well. So we'll call this a rare L. But I'm still going to have to roast it anyway. So And cover your ears, because this is going to go off the rails with some of the language. Bill Burr swears more than I do. So, but he had some things to say about Elon Musk, and why don't we hear him in his own words? I haven't even heard all of this, but it's a bit off the rails. So, all right, well, let's hear him out. Here we go. Bill Burr on his thoughts on Elon Musk.
I'll tell you what's funny. I made fun of the fucking Twitter guy for fucking Sieg Heiling not once but twice. And
the Twitter guy doesn't even know his name, Elon Musk. The Twitter guy. Bill Burr, he's married with kids. He's getting older, so maybe he just doesn't pay that much attention to things. But clearly out of touch here. But let me just back this up again.
Guy for fucking Sieg Heiling not once but twice. And I never look at my emails. I was scrolling through my emails, and it said my Twitter account had been flagged for I don't even tweet anymore.
So he's making, of course, the reference to the salute, which is why I put it in the thumbnail. There it is. Does he really think that's Sieg Heiling? We've been over this. This is kind of like old news. No, it wasn't a salute. It wasn't one of those Nazi salutes. He was just saying, my heart goes out to you. I'm afraid to do it, but they've shown all of these montages of so many leftists also doing the same thing. They're not trying. They're just throwing their arm out and just, hey, we're doing this. Oh, that looks just like Hitler back in 1939. Oh, does it? No. So then Bill Burr goes off the rails and creates this whole the straw man argument here to dunk on Elon Musk over something he just completely misunderstood. Okay, where does he think that Elon Musk is into Hitler? You're taking a couple of salutes, taking it wildly out of context, which is what the leftists were saying, just because they were just looking for, just something that they could dunk on Elon for. But it wasn't actually true. This is where he's he's going off the rails into this straw man argument, because you're just assuming that Elon was somehow Sieg Heiling. And how dare he? This whole premise of this rant is off base. Unless he moved to Argentina, staged his death, or Antarctica, who knows? But let's not go off the rails anymore either. Billy's doing enough of that himself. Hero. He's assuming that the Führer is Elon Musk's hero. It's a lazy argument. I don't know. Maybe he's getting his political views from terrible sources. The extreme leftists, or maybe his wife, I don't know. Sure, she's a nice lady, but politically, she's seems programmed.
That destroyed millions of people's lives, families, and his own country. His own countrymen paid the price for what he did. He This is another thing too. Oh, that guy went straight to hell. It's like, how does he go straight to hell? What does God say about that? He made that guy. Right? I just don't understand that. Like how he gets absolved of that. God created everything, yes.
All right. Well, I don't know. I don't want to embarrass Bill. Like I say, he's one of my favorite comedians, but he needs to do a little better research before he goes public with this kind of stuff. And I apologize. I might have bounced back and forth between the picture and the audio, but I think we all get it. Again, he just went off the rails on some false straw man argument on conflating with Hitler and Elon, which doesn't make any sense. Okay, well, let's take a look. Hello, Mimi. Good to see you. Yeah, Bill Burr, he's great, man. I love his Red Rocks. I watch all of his stand-up specials, but he's really should stay out of politics here. He's clearly out of his... not built for this. Yeah, it is sad to see that. And hello, Frankie, saying his sister's coworker quit the Department of Defense. She took the offer. Now she's mad because maybe the woman had something to hide. Yeah, I know they're offering resignations for anybody that wants to take them if you don't want to be in the part of the government. So I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to there, Frankie. I don't know if people would want to quit their cushy government jobs. You're going to get an email. Can you outline 5 things that you can say that you did last week? Keep your job, your pension, all of that stuff. But I mean, there's a lot of people that they're not showing up to work. They're just wasting our tax dollars doing nothing. You got to cut those people out. So your sister's coworker quit. Yeah, who knows? It's a bizarre situation, and people are badly misinformed. They're being poisoned with propaganda. And even Bill Burr is fallen victim to that. All the leftist, all the weird tactics that they use to misinform the public or frame something in a certain way. It's inaccurate, like the saluting that's going on. And it was nice to see the internet fire back and show all the leftists doing the same thing, the saluting. There's nothing to do with Nazi Germany. But after the damage is done, anyway. It's going to be a reckoning, and there's going to be a lot less federal bureaucracy this year. So that'll be interesting. All right. Well, speaking of interesting, let's go. We'll switch subjects again here. I think I've covered enough from Bill. And we've got Jake Tapper. Let's take a look at this headline. Well, it's going to be Jake Tapper. Should he donate his book profits to charity? I don't know if you've seen this. This is pretty bold. So here we got CNN's Tapper. He's hawking a book about the cover-up of Biden's mental decline. And it should come with a mirror. Yeah, exactly. So CNN hack Jake Tapper, or fake Tapper. This website is stuck here. He's going to be selling a book that he has co-written about the cover-up of Joe Biden's mental decline, prompting a firestorm of backlash from conservatives, pointing out that Tapper was regularly on TV covering it up himself. Yeah, this is amazing. This should be something that destroys the credibility of so many in the mainstream media, that perpetuating this giant hoax when we all saw how Biden was declining, obviously, for years, even before he got elected. I've even got a video making my prophetic revelation or predictions for 2020, talking about that. A confused memory patient, Joe Biden, He probably wouldn't make it through the 4 years. He'd not even close. And then they covered up, pretended like he didn't have dementia until he got on the debate stage against Trump for that first time. And then we all saw the obvious. Now Jake Tapper, who said absolutely nothing during that entire time, and here's the tweet here. 5 years ignoring Biden's mental decline, but now he's putting out a book saying you won't believe what was going on. Back in 2020, even Lara Trump, she appeared on Tapper's show and described Biden's deterioration as very clearly a cognitive decline, prompting Tapper to cut her off. In fact, we're going to run that clip just to show you the hypocrisy from fake Jake Tapper.
Jake, is very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable.
You have no this is so amazing. It's so amazing to me that
try and figure out an answer.
A cognitive decline.
When you're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was
I think that you were mocking his stutter. Yeah, I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline. I would think that somebody in the Trump family would be more sensitive to people who do not have medical licenses diagnosing politicians from afar. Plenty of people have diagnosed your father from afar, and I'm sure it offends you. Your father.
Jake.
Wow. So there is Jake cutting her off, talking about Biden's cognitive decline. And this guy has the balls, the audacity to write a book about it now, saying nothing. I mean, he could have been a hero at some point, right? He could have been a real journalist. Breaking the big news and going against his party and saying, look, I know you guys hire me, but I got to put this out there. I've got the scoop, man. Biden doesn't have it. He might have to step down. There's something wrong. But he didn't. He waited until the dam broke. Now he's trying to capitalize on it. So I think the question I posed about this, we got to be careful switching these links so I don't get stuck ranting on the wrong link. But yeah, Jake Tapper, should he donate his book profits to charity? And yes, I am going to agree that he should. Can't do that. You could have been a hero if you had said this while this was actually going on. Instead, you covered it up. Now you're going to try to make money on this? No way. It should be like ill-gotten gains. Especially when you show that clip. Just shameful. Absolutely terrible. Here's former MSNBC host Cenk Uygur saying, yes, the Axios reporter, Alex Thompson and Jake Tapper wrote a book about Biden's cognitive decline. It was covered up. It says, good, I'll take it, but mainstream media trying to figure out who covered up Biden's mental decline is a little like O.J. Simpson trying to find the real killer. As Paul Joseph Watson pointed out in that article, yeah, maybe look in the mirror, Jake. Just no self-awareness. Here's also this is a classic. This should be the end. I mean, Joe Scarborough should resign for covering up Biden's decline. And in this clip, this should be like the executive should just pull him into the office, show him this clip, and tell him to clean out his desk. I mean, he even went worse. But at least he's not writing a book about Biden's decline. This is going to tie into the Maddow thing, too. How come the ratings are tanking at MSNBC and nobody believes a word we say? Let's run this clip because it's classic.
But comparing that guy's mental state, I've said it for years now, he's cogent. But I undersold him when I said he was cogent. He's far beyond cogent. In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been. Intellectually, analytically, because he's been around for 50 years.
Willie Geist is not. He's looking at him like, oh, God. Are you really going to sit there and say that? But he did. No shame. Just zero. None. Just a full-blown sociopath. Just lying to his audience. Brazenly.
And, you know, I don't know if people knew this or not. Biden used to be a hothead. Sometimes that Irishman would get in front of the reasoning. Sometimes he would say things he didn't want to say. This is, and I don't really, you know what? I don't really care. Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth.
Here we go. Here it is.
And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it.
Right there. Joe, here's your resignation letter. You're done. Clean out your desk. You're finished here at MSNBC, and nobody should ever hire him again. You are not a journalist. You are a propagandist. It's disgusting. Yeah, I think he's absolutely compromised, Jody, saying that the hate runs deep. Yeah, I do believe he killed that intern. And I think this is why he has to go on TV, because this is compromise. We talk about the Epstein list. We talk about honey traps, honeypot traps. You compromise. You get somebody blackmailed. Oh, you killed your intern. Well, how can we use that to our advantage? Now you can come work for us. And if you get out of line, we're going to expose what happened. They can pull your strings forever. And they match him up with Micah Brzezinski, who's the daughter of Zbigniew Brzezinski, arch globalist. So that whole network is just trash. It's poison. Yeah, no shame. Not at all. Just looks directly at the camera, says, F you if you can't handle it. This geek's going to tell us the truth, or he wouldn't say it. That aged poorly, but hey, it gives us something to laugh about. But yeah, that should be the end of his journalistic career right there. Done. Over. Bye-bye. But we got a lot of problems with MSNBC, including Rachel Maddow getting torched here by Megyn Kelly, being sanctimonious Maddow over MSNBC and her racism meltdown. Awful. Awful person. She might be another one of these sociopaths that just enjoys lying to the audience. They get paid big bucks for that. Even Keith Olbermann is interesting to note, who is just unhinged. Former mentor says she lost her principles for the $25 million salary. Now, apparently, Keith Olbermann, who actually was credited with starting her television career, claimed that his former protege had abandoned her principles for a lofty salary. And he was on MSNBC with the Primetime Countdown show for 8 years. And he brought her to power. I think he even paid her out of pocket, which is what I thought was really interesting here. Yeah, so here it is. Olbermann and Maddow were once close, and then he hired Maddow as a contributor out of his own pocket because the network refused to pay her enough. So that's pretty cool. I'm very critical of Keith. He was a great, he was actually very good on that Countdown show. He was actually a voice of reason during the Bush administration, but he has gone unhinged and insane ever since. When he was fired, he was pretty much a toxic asshole. People couldn't work with him. And he was brilliant on ESPN when he had that chance. But he nails it. And speaking of ESPN, it's kind of like sports, man, because Rachel Maddow, and I did a rant, not only Megyn Kelly, but I did my own, just calling out her hypocrisy there. She's getting $25 million. I'm just going to roll a quick clip from this. Here we go.
Please know that what pains us the most is not what happens to us. It is what happens to our coworkers on whom we depend and who you don't necessarily know, but we respect and love them and depend on them. And did I mention we respect them?
I think she makes $25 million a year. She could take a little pay cut. I mean, could she survive? Do you think Rachel Maddow could survive on $20 million? And then she could donate the extra $5 million to all of those staffers that she cares so much about.
Good call.
Yeah. I think that's about what I really wanted to say there. There's a few others. You guys can go check it out on my channel if you'd like. Maddow, the multi-millionaire media mercenary. Yeah, she goes on a big rant criticizing her employers, saying that, they fired Joy Reid and Alex Wagner for his racial decisions. But then she goes on and talks about all the staffers and producers behind the scenes that are also losing their jobs, which don't necessarily have to be minorities, so just destroying her own argument. But if she's so concerned about all those people, then why doesn't she take a pay cut? Can she survive on $20 million instead of $25 and pay her staff? Oh, like the way that Keith Olbermann took care of you back in the day. She's awful. So yeah, she is a mercenary. She does not care. Take her multi-millions and lie in front of the cameras. Arrogant. Awful. I hope she's the next to get out of MSNBC. And it's like I guess the sports analogy I'm thinking of is when you have a star player on your team and they get in line for a big raise and they're going to be your new quarterback and they're going to get $50 million a year. Well, you got to cut some of the rest of the team. You're going to pay your basketball star, I don't know, 50, 60 million a year. I forget how much some of those guys get paid. But then you're going to have to find cheaper players to play for you. But if you took a pay cut, that gives your team extra cap room to work with, to go get good personnel. So, yeah, she does not deserve any sympathy from anybody. Terrible person, Maddow. That whole network is just, they need to close the door. All right. Well, what else do we have today? Got another hack we can laugh at. Far left slob Michael Moore says Trump is deporting illegal aliens who could cure cancer or stop an asteroid. Oh my God, these people are nuts. So he's complaining that America is going to lose the incredible talents of millions of illegal aliens. And I guess he posted this on his Substack. He's worried about the mass deportations. Yeah, these are illegal aliens that had no reason to be here. I mean, if we had some of these young geniuses that we could bring into the country, that'd be fine. Right? I identify some of the talents that are going to waste away in some third world country. We'll bring them here, celebrate our freedom, and they could do some great things for us. Like cure. I don't think they're ever going to cure cancer because there's too much money in it. Or stop an asteroid. Give me a break. So should we keep all of the millions of illegal aliens and just support them all, give them benefits? Because maybe one of them might do something special someday. It's a really bizarre argument, but you know, he's kind of irrelevant now. He's a has-been, a hack. I pretty much forgot about him until he made this headline. That's all good. All right, we'll keep moving along. A couple of quick notes. We'll call it a day. What are we at, the hour and 5-minute mark? Okay, well, I guess we've all heard the sad story of Gene Hackman and his family. I guess the question I posed was foul play likely involved. I don't know about that. But here's the update. Hackman and his wife found mummified in a Santa Fe compound. Pills found scattered in the bathroom. So Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, were found dead, along with the family dog. Carbon monoxide seemed to be the first suspicion, because if they don't think there's any foul play, there's nothing, you know, it'd be unusual for both the husband and the wife and the dog to just all kind of die in their own spot sort of peacefully. You would think maybe some carbon monoxide got into the house. Maybe they all just died in their sleep. So they don't think there's foul play, but it is very strange. Authorities were unable to immediately identify the bodies because they were poorly decomposed. I guess they had to do a wellness check on them. And it's been a couple of weeks, so they'd already been dead and actually partially mummified at their mansion with pills strewn around. So I don't know if I doubt it's a suicide pact or anything like that, but who knows, man? You get some rich people locked up in their mansion in New Mexico long enough, maybe they start to go crazy. I don't know. Gene Hackman was 95. And I can't confirm, but I'd heard that he perhaps had dementia or something like that, which would be perfectly normal for his age. He lived a long time, so not really that much of a tragedy. But he was really one of the great actors of his generation, and it's sad to see him go. His wife, 30 years younger, I'm not sure. So hard to say what's going to happen. So that's going to be interesting to see that investigation. But I don't know. I don't want to get into the disgusting details of their decomposition. That's not really... We'll let the forensic people deal with that. Yeah, they've been dead for some time in their Santa Fe home. One of the greats. Weird ending. Oh yeah, and Lex Luthor. Watched that a lot as a kid. Okay, well, one other story, I guess. Last one I have on the stack. Should consumers join in a 24-hour economic blackout? Of course, maybe I can circle back. I'll see if there's any bombshell on the Epstein thing. Okay, Joe D. Let's see. What do we got? Thank you for perhaps some breaking news. Glenn Beck just posted that the FBI, yes, the Southern District of New York, is withholding the true list and refusing from turn it over. Yeah, okay, so let's go back in line with what Tim Pool said. And he showed the document from Pam Bondi to Kash Patel. They are withholding information, burying evidence. Excuse me. So, unfortunate. Still not seeing anything. Damn. Yeah, it's an internal civil war. They're protecting all of the dirty swamp creatures in D.C. So, do they serve the people? No, not really. Not anymore. Dereliction of duty. Too bad. Hey, Deb, good to see ya. Yes, I am live. This is going to be my new time slot. It's going to be 4 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central for me, and I guess that would be 1 o'clock for you there in California. That'll be a new schedule going forward, and I'll probably do a weekend show too. Going to be doing a little bit more content this year as I attempt to break through on the algorithms. We'll see. Oh yeah, great to have you. Always a delight to have you in chat. Yeah, if you want to tune in for the shows from now on, 4 o'clock Eastern, Tuesday, Thursday, and I'll figure out a regular time. I don't know, Saturday or Sunday, but not sure. It might just be an impromptu pop-up show. Okay. Well, we have the DOGE stimulus checks moving forward to Congress. That would be good news. I don't know how much it's going to be so far. Are they talking about? I've heard anywhere from $350 to $5,000. I don't know, depending on how much waste, fraud, and abuse they can cut out of the budget. That would be nice. Thank you, Deb. Okay. Well, thanks for chiming in on Twitter so I can see you. I know I've had a few people that have posted, but I don't see all of their comments sometimes. I don't know why that is, but I can see it on Twitter, not YouTube. Okay, well, I think I just had one final story since there's not going to be any more Epstein stuff, it looks like. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Maybe I'll do another show tomorrow. I'm not sure. If something gets launched, if something special is there, there's something to talk about, I'll definitely jump in for another show here. And since I didn't get to any of the juicy stuff I was hoping for, but last story of the day, that the leftist activists are planning a one-day economic blackout on February 28th. That's tomorrow, Black Friday, or we'll call it Blackout Friday. Here's what to know. Consumers preparing one of several boycotts planned by groups of consumers or activists to protest what they call corporate greed. Companies that have rolled back their DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, and President Donald Trump's efforts to eliminate federal programs. I mentioned Elon Musk. So we'll see how this develops. I'm planning on doing some shopping tomorrow, unless I'm doing another show. We'll see. So they're going to boycott Amazon, Nestle, Walmart. I don't know who else. Or no, they've got those are going to be different time periods. So that's coming up. And why? Because Amazon's getting rid of their DEI practices, or Nestle or Walmart. So now you're going to try to go after their business. You're going to boycott them. Well, we'll see if anybody actually joins in. I don't know how this is, getting a hold in with anybody. If people are really going to participate in that or not. Maybe I'll find out tomorrow if I go shopping. But why are they protesting waste, fraud, and abuse? That doesn't make any sense. Or would they want the DEI stuff back? I don't know. They don't make much sense. But I guess they just have to outrage something and do their AstroTurf activism somewhere. Yeah, the Epstein information will keep them busy this weekend. Let's hope for releases soon. Yeah, I guess that's part of that letter. We're going to get a big bunch of evidence piling up to Bondi's desk. 8 o'clock sharp tomorrow, DC time. And then they'll have the weekend to go through it all. And hopefully we'll get something exciting over the weekend, or at least by Monday. Yeah, this is just a pointless exercise to me. This boycott, I don't know. Who are they hurting? What is their message? Bring back DEI. Bring back more wasteful spending. We like throwing our tax dollars away. Maybe they shouldn't get their checks then. Maybe that's what if they can opt out of their DOGE paychecks, and they could just, give them to, USAID or something if they really want, to give their money to, former CIA people or to the propagandists at these awful news networks, or what's left of them. Yeah, I don't know how far this is going to go, but we'll see. We'll find out tomorrow if it had any impact whatsoever. Maybe in a few select locations. I just don't think there's that much demand for it, but gotta have something to have a temper tantrum somewhere. Maybe somebody will capture it on video and we'll get some more footage on Libs of TikTok or something. But anyway, I think that's all I've got for today. Unfortunately, not the big bombshells I was hoping for with the Epstein list, but we'll see for next week. And maybe a pop-up show, either tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, if you want to look for it. Join me if you'd like. Otherwise, it was great to see you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Please like and subscribe if you can. We'll do it again next time. I guess that's all I've got. Thank you much. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody. I'm out.